So, welcome to the parent meet and greet session by me, the Safe School Professional, Miss Wamala, and Mrs. Nelms, your school counselor. Our hope is to share a little bit of information about ourselves and what we do so that you know what resources are available to your children and to you. I'm Miss Wamala again, and I was born in Uganda but raised in Las Vegas. And so my title here at the school is Safe School Professional, but I have my master's degree in marriage and family therapy, and I'm a licensed therapist here in town. I've worked with kids in different realms. I have worked at the county at the Juvenile Detention Center. I taught at UNLV for over 5 years, and I also have a private practice where I support people in the community. On the side, I'm also the co-founder of a nonprofit that I run with my cousin, and I have a 7-year-old Maltipoo Fatima who acts like a puppy to this day. So in my spare time, I really enjoy traveling, which is on pause right now, but I am glad to be able to serve the community and serve those around me with my with my history of expertise. And so I have never lived anywhere else, but I've been to a lot of different places. And the fun thing is that my office is right across from the choir teacher, Mr. Honeycutt, and I grew up in performing arts, so we always have a good time, and singing and acting and dancing is something that I still do to this day. And I'm so glad to be back. This is my second year at Somerset Sky Canyon to support your children and to support you throughout remote learning.
And I am Emily Nelms. I'm your school counselor. I am from Southern California. I grew up in Glendale, and my work history is pretty diverse. I've worked in mental health, particularly in group homes, specializing working with kids with autism and special needs. I've also worked in education and healthcare. I also have a puppy, and her name is Callie. She's a chocolate lab. I am a former USC Trojan and got 2 master's degrees. My first one was in applied psychology with an emphasis on organizational psychology. And my other master's degree is in education and school counseling. Personally, I really enjoy camping and hiking and being outside. And since the pandemic hit, I have picked up baking. So I've also played college softball Division II, and that was a long time ago, but something interesting about me. And I am very excited to be your school counselor this year. It's my first year at Somerset Sky Canyon. I worked here a little bit in the spring, so I might know some familiar faces, but I am really excited to take over this role and support your students and you and the teachers this year.
So essentially, our whole entire goal here on campus is to promote a safe and healthy learning environment for your children. And we do that by supporting the staff, supporting the kids for sure, and also supporting you. Research says that it's difficult to learn, and it's difficult to kind of create these foundations that children are getting in their early years without the ability to address social and emotional aspects. And so our entire goal is to create a climate that is conducive to their wellness so that they can learn in a more seamless way.
So this year we have quite a few plans ahead of us. So one of the big things that we wanted to make sure you are aware of are the parent workshops. So since we are doing remote learning, we thought it was important that we gave you tools and resources in order to help your child learn at home. So some of those resources may include mindfulness, self-regulation, and social emotional learning. We'll also have wellness resources posted on our website. We will be creating either weekly or bi-monthly videos depending on the time that we have, and those will be posted on our website. We also have already started our guidance lessons, so you may have overheard us jumping into your child's Zoom classroom, and we will be continuing those all year long. And we have also will be creating groups. So if you had your child partake in groups last year, you know what they are. If you have not, essentially we will be recruiting students to join us in small groups, and we will do lessons based off of the information we get from you as parents, as well as the teachers, to understand what your child's needs are, and create groups around those problems and issues. So what that would look like is your child would jump into a Zoom with us and a few other students, and we would host exercises and have discussions and create a safe space for your child to be able to share with us, a safe adult, as well as their peers.
So, in an effort to create that healthy, safe environment for your kiddos, we'll oftentimes do one-on-one meetings. When we're in person, that will look like, a kid walking by our office and having a chat with us. If they're struggling as they're, passing through classes, teachers will often, excuse me, identify kids that they see that might need some additional support. And then we're also out during duties and drop offs and things like that to be able to identify those kids who could use someone to talk to at the time. Doing this helps them to learn how to regulate their emotions. And actually, right now, we're talking about coping skills in their classes, which we're all trying to learn how to cope better in our current circumstances. So, we're helping them to learn how to regulate their emotions, creating a safe space that's non judgmental for them to be able to express and work through some of their challenges and give them the tools and tips to be successful, not just emotionally and socially, but that being the foundation for their academic success overall. So, in order for us to be able to do that most efficiently and effective, is that we build rapport with the kids by honoring their confidentiality. Now, that doesn't mean that we will not communicate what needs to be to you if there's a risk. So we are bound by, limits of confidentiality. We are mandated reporters. So if there is something that has to do with your child as far as self-harm, harm to self, harm to others, and child or elder abuse, then you will be the first one to know about that. So outside of those things, our main goal is to protect their confidentiality so that they feel comfortable enough to share what they're dealing with in order to get those tools that they need and the services that they need.
So we ask that you create a safe and private space if we were to set up a one-on-one meeting, and respect that confidentiality and privacy while we meet with your child. So the next thing I wanted to discuss is Safe Voice. I think it's really important that you are aware of this service. Basically, students, parents, and faculty are allowed to access this. It is a 24/7, 365 service that is anonymous reporting. So if you are overhearing maybe something about cyberbullying, any kind of violence, self-harm, suicide, any of those big issues that are concerning to a child's safety, that is something that you can report through Safe Voice. We also use this oftentimes just to ensure that we have some kind of collaboration with our public safety system, and it provides a record on file. So it will be directly sent to our administration at our school, and it also is sent to both myself, your school counselor, Emily Nelms, and Miss Wamala.
So we're all having to shift and adjust in this time where we're dealing with a pandemic, among other things. And we completely understand that your family may have been affected in multiple ways by what we're dealing with. So, what we want to make sure that we communicate is that we also are available to support you in finding the right resources to be able to cope during this time. Excuse me. And so, if you even have a question as to whether this applies to you, or if you know that this fits for you and your family's current situation, please, please, please feel free to reach out to Mrs. Nelms, send her an email, or give her a call and leave a voicemail, and she can chat with you about what are the best resources available to refer you to so that you aren't having to deal with all of this by yourself. Our entire job here at the school is to make sure that we are supporting the kids and their families. And so we want to make sure that you're aware of that, and that even if you have a question, that we're here to kind of walk you through any process that might be best suited for your family.
I also want to ensure that you understand that these conversations would be confidential. So I wouldn't be sharing this information publicly. If I needed to connect you with resources, that would be done privately between you and myself. And in addition to if you are struggling to provide for your family, I wanted to also put it out there that if you have additional resources or food or any of those things and you would like to donate, please contact me and we can absolutely help get the families that need assistance at this time. So to access us, here are our emails, and I also wanted to walk you through how to access our website that we have worked very hard on. So this is our Sky Canyon homepage. So to get to our website, you go to Staff and click on Staff Directory, and you'd scroll all the way to the bottom past all of the teachers, the specialists, and the IAs, and to the student support section. This is where you'll find myself, Emily Nelms, and Gisette Momala. And if you wanted to email us, this is how you would do it, or contact us. You'll click on one of our faces and it'll take you to our homepage where there's a little blurb about us. And then you would click on Counseling Corner, and that will take you directly to our website. So within this website, we've started to create different resources for you. So for example, in our remote learning resource section, you can find how to create SMART goals, study tips, social emotional learning, time management. You can also access different kind of parent resources that we've built in here. So how to talk to your child about COVID, and how to combat loneliness, and how to help your children get along while they are remote learning. So struggling times and require some extra assistance. So that's why we are here to help provide you with any information or resources that we can get our hands on. If you felt like you wanted to schedule a meeting with us, either yourself or with your child, you can click on Schedule Meeting, and it will send you straight to a counselor meeting request form. So it has a few questions, essentially just asking if it's an emergency or what's the meeting regarding, and if you prefer one of us or the other, and an email that we can send a Zoom invitation to. In addition to finding that form here, you can also click on the requested appointment on Ms. Wamala's page or my own page, and it will take you straight to that form as well. And let's go back to this. So the next steps for you as parents is completing a parent survey. So I will show you what that looks like as well. So we will be attaching this survey to this presentation, and if you could fill this out, that would be wonderful. We're just trying to gather information on how to best support your child during this time, trying to understand what your needs are at home. So more information, the better. So please fill this out, and we will be able to provide a better understanding of how to help you during this time. So on top of that, there's also a consent form, so a non-consent form. Essentially, we are going to send this out as well. If you do not want your child to see us, again, if you do not want your child to be seen by either myself, the school counselor, or Ms. Wamala, the safe school professional, please fill this out. You will put in your name, phone number, your child's name, first and last, their grade level, and then you will check this box stating, I do not give permission for my child to receive services by the school counselor or safe school professional, and press submit. Again, this is if you do not want us to see your child at all. That includes meeting your child in groups. Okay.
We appreciate you taking the time to get to know us and what we do here at the school. As mentioned, we're gonna be here to support you and provide resources throughout remote learning, but also as we transition back into school, whenever that may happen. And make sure to fill out that survey in the next 2 weeks so that we can coordinate when we can have our groups begin based on the need of the students.
We appreciate you taking the time to listen to this presentation and fill out these surveys. I know it's a difficult time right now, and finding the energy to do things is very challenging. So we do appreciate and understand how challenging this might be for you. But we appreciate your time and all that you do for your children. Thank you so much.